Welcome to the soap that is my life.
Hi. This is a video I've been wanting to make for some time now, for about over a week, and I'm a little anxious about it. So I hope I've been going over my mind what to tell and stuff. And you know, by the title, you know it's gonna be about the Mandela Effect, which has affected my life since a few weeks. And then it's still, it's still going around in my head because, as I've told in previous Mandela Effect videos, if you haven't seen them, that I have a scientific mind, I have a scientific upbringing, and I have always been taught that the world can be described by maths and I don't know what, and then this happens to me. But this specific video, I'm not gonna explain what the Mandela Effect is for people who are still in the dark about it. I'll put some descriptions, some links in the description about my videos that I made about the Mandela Effect. But what I want to talk to you about is the people who don't believe us, or I want to actually direct this video to the people who don't believe us. Me, I haven't had too much trouble in my life at the moment. I am a regular guy who goes to work on a 9-to-5 job, more or less. It's actually an 8 to end of the day, an 8 to end job, but whatever. I have two kids where I talked about the Mandela Effect, and you know, they had like the Looney Tunes things. They also remember it with 2 O's, but they say, oh, maybe it's misremembering. A few persons, yes. A few dozen also, but thousands of them in the same way, then it's difficult. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the mind. I want to give you, kind of a history on the mind as I perceived it in relation to paranormal activities, or to paranormal stuff. I remember when I was young, I was always interested in the paranormal, but I was always seeking a scientific explanation for it. And I remember that the skeptics always told, when there were like sightings, and I'm calling aliens Bigfoot, I'm calling ghosts, I call anything that's paranormal. When there were sightings, they always said, oh, but you know, they're all just regular people. There aren't any officials who see this, and the regular people, their minds aren't trained like the officials, and they can see it in the wrong way, and they can perceive it in the wrong way, and remember it in the wrong way, and I don't know what. And they always, brushed it off like that. From the beginning, I thought that's strange. Then, a few years on, when I was getting older, suddenly police officers, doctors, and not just doctors in medicine, all kinds of doctors, politicians, they all started to see paranormal stuff. Actors and people, famous people, they all started to see paranormal stuff. And then the skeptics went, oh yeah, but you know what, the officials, they may have a trained mind, but they just have a mind like an ordinary human being, so they can see it wrong, and they can start hallucinating and misremember and whatever. And then I thought, hey, they're right. They're right. Everybody is human and everybody makes mistakes, and they're absolutely right. But first they asked for witness reports from officials, then they get from officials, and then they brush them off in the same way. Okay. The third phase in this remembrance is that I think it was mid-90s that they started doing experiments on the memory, on the brain, but on the mind, but on the memories. One of the most famous is where they took a photo album of the people and they put a photo album of a balloon trip in it, and they tried to create false memories, and apparently they had a very big success rate. Now let's talk about that. Is it possible to put fake memories in your mind via that method? I can believe that. I believe that it can. But the reports went from that people started to remember sounds and smells and different colors that were not on the picture, and I'm gonna tell you, I have a pretty good memory. And I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna come back in later in the video that I wanna tell you about. I remember that my father, he used to work in the mines, in the coal mines, and they retired very early on, but he couldn't stay at home. He was like a workaholic kind of guy. So he went to work for a Ford garage. People who know the Mandela Effect knows what's gonna come. They know what's gonna come. Anyway, I remember as a kid I could visit him and stuff, and we went there, and I remember the time that the new model of Taunus, the T2, came out, and they gave me like this little green car, Ford Taunus car, Matchbox car, and I was so happy. And what I remember also was that around that time they had this promotion at that Ford garage. I think at all the Ford garages here in Belgium, they had this umbrella, and the umbrella had a very thick, a thick stick, let's call it that. Why was that? Because you could open the stick, you could use it as just an umbrella for one, but if you opened the stick, it like folded open a little, and you could use it with two. It was a romantic thing, and they gave it for free when you bought a car. And it was so beautiful. It was a white umbrella with the Ford logo, the blue Ford logo on it. And I was fixated on that Ford logo. And I remember it like the Mandela people remember it, without that little pig's tail, but we'll talk about that later on. I was so fixated on that Ford logo that I probably remembered it bigger than it was on an umbrella. That's one. Second of all, what happened beside me? Sounds and smells. I don't remember sounds and smells anymore. And I think it's very hard to remember sounds and smells and stuff on a real memory, let alone on a fake one. I have my doubts about that aspect of this thing. And this is how the mind kind of works, or how we were led to believe that we have weak minds and that our memory can be changed in all kinds of fashions and I don't know what. And I believe that our minds are stronger than we are led to believe. I kind of compare it a little with the ancient alien guys who say that we were too weak to build the pyramids ourselves, and that the aliens came to help us. And trust me, I don't believe in that, but I watched Ancient Aliens because I thought it was the funniest thing at the time. Anyway, now let's go back to that Ford logo and to our memories. The people say that the naysayers and the skeptics say to us, oh, but you're all remembering it wrong. Okay, hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people are remembering the Ford logo wrong. It's possible. I believe that. But now listen to this. This is why I chose the Ford, especially the Ford logo, and why I chose that memory that I just told you about. If hundreds of thousands of people misremembered the Ford logo, what would have happened? That little pig's tail, like for 5 to 10,000 people, it would have disappeared, and it would have, like we remember it, gone out a little broader, or maybe was a single line or something. But for the rest of the rememberers or whatever, that pig's tail would have moved on the Ford logo. It would have moved to the other side of the F, to the top side of the F, to the D, to the downside of the F. You would have different ways that it would have been misremembered. But that isn't so. Everybody remembers it wrong in the same way. So I don't believe it is misremembering. I believe that we who are affected by the Mandela Effect, that we somehow remember either a different reality, or we move to a reality, another reality, or our reality is being tampered with. I don't know yet, but that's what I believe in this case. Now, I'm not here to talk to you or to tell you some proof about the Mandela Effect, not this time. There are hundreds of videos that already tell about and residue stuff and all that. And there are people who debunk it or try to debunk it. And you know what? There is an explanation for everything, and different explanations for everything. Proof of the matter is, I made a video once about alien abductions, and there are at least 3 or 4 different scientifically based explanations to explain this phenomenon. One is sleep paralysis, the other is a magnetic field that somehow influences the frontal lobe. You can watch it on my main channel. I might put a link to it in the description too. But I mean, you can explain everything away, and I'm not here for that specific thing. But you know, I tried to see some of these debunking videos, and there was one, I don't remember the name of the guy anymore. I don't want to remember him. It was his second debunking video, and he was gonna debunk everything about the Mandela Effect, and he was gonna tell the truth, and I don't know what. And it was I think a 30-minute video. And 8 minutes into the video, I just put it off. Because what was his debunking theory? He went to the side of Fiona Bloom. Now, Fiona Bloom, for the ones who don't know it, supposedly the one who started the entire Mandela Effect by, when she was talking to some people, they did remember Mandela dying in the late 80s or begin 90s, and then he was still alive, and he died only in 2013. To place Fiona Bloom in my Mandela world, I found out through other means about the Mandela Effect, and I was already a few days watching the videos about the Mandela Effect, and when I did research on the Mandela Effect for my main channel video, then I learned about Fiona Bloom, and not before. So I don't think she is that an important figure anymore in this whole Mandela thing. I don't know, I may be wrong, but whatever the case, he started debunking it by saying, you know, if you go to the Fiona Bloom website, they sell t-shirts. Okay, they sell t-shirts, so the Mandela Effect must be bullshit. What about all those sports teams, like from the NFL? baseball, soccer around the world. They all sell t-shirts too. Am I to believe that they're like bullshit too? That they're what? Holograms? Glitches in the matrix? What? I mean, come on. You don't debunk something by telling them, oh, but they sell t-shirts, so they want to gain some money, so it's bullshit. Everybody wants to gain some money in some way or another. And most probably what happened was that people asked Fiona Bloom, aren't there any t-shirts? And she got the idea, oh yeah, well, why don't I sell t-shirts and I earn a little money with this? That doesn't mean it's wrong. It can mean it's wrong, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. There is one more thing I would like to say about this. I'm starting to firmly believe in the Mandela Effect. And I've been watching videos about people and reactions on them, and some of the reactions of the naysayers and the skeptics, they're calling us crazy, to put it mildly. They call us crazy because we believe in something. We believe in the fact that there is something fundamentally changed in this reality. Let's put it that way. Everybody of those naysayers, and I'm talking to you now, everybody of those people, if not themselves, they have family, they have friends, they have people they know that believe in something. People who are religious, that's what I'm talking about. We don't call religious people crazy because they believe in a God or in Allah or whatever. And I have deep respect for these people who believe in, who are religious and who believe. I'm really, I have respect for these people. They are courageous in doing so. But they believe in something that is unseeable, untouchable, uncalculable. And nobody calls them crazy, or maybe just a few people call them crazy. I'm not talking about fanatics, religious fanatics. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about deeply religious people who believe there is something more in this world and who pray, and who are, by the way, helped by praying if they are sick, because research has been done to that and it has a placebo effect. So if you respect them and if you don't call them crazy, I implore you, don't call us crazy because we believe in something, because we believe in this Mandela Effect. This thing is happening. There is something happening. Or at least hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of people believe that something is happening. Deal with it. Accept it. Get over it. Don't just shun us. Don't call us crazy. I have a normal life. I have a 9-to-5 job. I am functioning in this world. Despite that I believe in the Mandela Effect, despite this. So accept it. Just accept it. I see 19 minutes and seconds. If you got through the entire video, thank you very much for watching. I have a vlog channel. You're watching this on my vlog channel actually. You may always subscribe. You can slap a like on this, or a dislike if you don't like what I'm saying. You know what? If you don't want to accept us, why are you still watching movies about the Mandela Effect? Why don't you go watch something else then? But as I was saying, thank you. I also have a main channel, link in the description. You may want to check it out. It has a lot of explanations about paranormal stuff, and there's a lot of scientific explanations with it. So thank you again. And hopefully I will see you again next time.